Please don't hurt my family. Please don't hurt my family. Oh, it's on. Okay. Yo, chat, what's good? I'm Yuvlian from the F2P Qingque team. I am reading this script of my own will, not because I am held at gunpoint. Today we will be talking about Fu Xuan. So can she solo sustain or nah? Let's start by checking her kit. At level 80, Fu Xuan has 1474 HP, 465 attack, 606 defense, and 100 speed. Basic attack scales of HP up to 50% at level 6. Her talent is simple. At level 10, Fu Xuan being alive means free 18% damage reduction for the whole team. She also has one stack of heal up to 2 stacks, which will be triggered when her HP drops to 50% or less. The amount that will be recovered is 90% of the amount of HP she is currently missing. Moving on to her skill, it enables her matrix of prescience. While it is active, 65% of the damage taken by any ally will be transferred to Fu Xuan instead. It also buffs allies' max HP by 6% of Fu Xuan's max HP. It also increases crit rate by 12% at level 10. This matrix lasts for 3 turns and it is based off Fu Xuan's turn, so you don't have to worry about it running out when your DPS goes too fast. Now the ult, it has a cost of 135. At level 10, it deals damage equal to 100% of Fu Xuan's max HP to all enemies. And after using the ult, it will give 1 stack of her talent. After using her technique, all party members will get a barrier which prevents them from getting ambushed for 20 seconds. And entering battle while the barrier is still there will enable Matrix of Prescience at the start of the battle, lasting for 2 turns. Now the main kit's done, let's check out her traces. Her Ascension 2 gives her 20 extra energy whenever Fu Xuan uses her skill while Matrix is active. Her Ascension 4 gives some heal to all allies whenever she uses ult. And her Ascension 6 basically makes your teammates immune to crowd control when Matrix is enabled. This can only be triggered once until you enable Matrix again. The trace upgrade priority will be skill, talent, ult, and then basic attack. And now for the part the disgusting whales love the most, Eidolons. Eidolon 1 gives 30% crit damage for everyone when Matrix is active. Eidolon 2, if any ally dies during Matrix is active, they will be revived by 70% of their max HP. This effect can only be triggered 1 time per battle. Eidolon 3 increases skill level by 2 and talent level by 2. Eidolon 4, if any ally while Matrix is active gets attacked, Fu Xuan will regenerate 5 energy. And then E5 is ultimate level plus 2 and basic attack plus 1. Eidolon 6 is kind of like Blade's ult, so if Matrix is active, it will save how many HP were lost, and Fu Xuan's ult damage will be increased by 200% of this HP loss. But the amount of the damage increase is capped at 120% of Fu Xuan's max HP, and it will be reset once the ult is used. Now let's talk about her signature light cone. It will give 1270 HP, 423 attack, 529 defense. At Superimposition 1, it will increase the wearer's max HP by 24%, energy regeneration rate by 12%, and whenever the wearer's HP is reduced, it will buff the team's damage by 9% for 2 turns. And every new wave, it will restore HP to all allies equal to 80% of their respective lost HP. If you don't know what waves are, it's like those in Calixes, where you kill the enemies and then the new enemies come afterwards. Those are waves. It is very good for her to solo sustain, but it is not necessary. There are alternatives that we will be talking about later on. For her relics, her set would be the 4-piece wood ring, or a cross between 2-piece Longifus, 2-piece Wuthering, or 2-piece Messenger. Planar is either Broken Kill or Fleet. For the main stats, boots you go speed, body go for HP percent, orb go for HP percent, rope go for energy regeneration rate percent. Desired substats are speed over HP percent over effect resistance. For her team composition, her best team is obviously Mono Quantum, but she will work with everyone currently except for Yanqing, which prefers Gepard because of the shield. Blade, Arlon, Clara might sound good on paper with her, but because of the higher aggro value, Clara and Blade might be less likely to get hit. And self-damage doesn't get transferred to Fu Xuan. However, Lynx is in her banner, which works amazingly with Blade and Clara. Now, to the last question, is she able to solo sustain? And the answer is yes, very good at it. Her skill can take care of single target and AoE damage, unlike Fire MC which cannot do the latter, and you don't need effect hit rate to do it. The main concern of Fu Xuan while she was in beta testing is that painful AoE attacks will kill her immediately. This was proven right, as when she tried to solo sustain the swarm, she died after its AoE attack. But the developers took note of this and they reduced the damage mitigation to 65% and it fixed that issue. Some people may think that she needs her signatures to solo sustain, but that is not true. There has been calculations which you can take a look at this table here. It shows that most 4-star light cones and Herta's preservation can compete with her signature, especially Landau S5. Now let's see her advantage. As stated before, she does not need her signature to perform, and her being able to solo sustain means more offensive supports in the team, which equals to more damage. She can deal some damage with her ult. She is also skill point positive, only using 1 per 2 turns. She also has something Pylo and Gepard don't have, which is giving all party members crit rate and immunity to CC. Her metrics will only tick down after her own turn, unlike Gepard's shield which will be gone once your DPS takes 3 turns. She also has a 3-digit base speed of 100. Because of this crowd control immunity, Fu Xuan won't need that much effect resistance, neither does her allies. To be fair, this is usually solved in a Pylo or a Gepard team with a Bronya, so it's not that big of a deal unless you don't have Bronya. Her relics are also easy to farm if you are farming for Silo or Qingque due to both Quantum Domain and Word 7 having her desired sets. So, she can solo sustain, has nice utility. What makes her special? Well, it is true that probably in the future there will be much better units, but that doesn't mean she's weak or not future proof. Because her kit is just really good, considering the CC and the heal. And her Eidolons scales very well. E1 makes her an amazing support and E2 gives you a mini Pylo. And if you are talking about her value, the main value of Fu Xuan currently is Mono Quantum. Having a Mono Quantum team with Silver Wolf means you don't have to care about weakness anymore. You can just put a Mono Quantum in one node of MOC and then match elements for the other one. So what's the answer then? Should you pull or not? It all depends on your roster currently. If you do not have Pylo, Luocha or Gepard, Fu Xuan is very good and it will help your team a lot, especially if you have Silver Wolf. And if you lose the 50-50, you will at least get E0 links. That's all fellas, don't forget to subscribe and keep gambling. The moment you stop gambling, you could have won it big. So keep gambling. Remember, you can only lose 100% but win 10,000%. Bye bye.